Call our 8 o'clock, October 1st agenda briefing to order. 9 o'clock, I'll call the meeting to order. Invocation by Commissioner Daughtry. Pledge of allegiance by Commissioner Barbara Aycock. We got anything on the agenda different?
Yeah, we'll have one walk-on under consent.
Okay,
That would be the addition of a public hearing on October the 15th, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. The purpose of this public hearing is to receive public comments regarding the sale and lease of 210 Dixie Trail, Goldsboro, North Carolina, to B's Blanching LLC. And that would be under consent.
okay. All right, Kayla, can you, well, he just said write that down, I'll give you some, so I'll be able to.
You
Number
want me to put
14.
it on the agenda so it pops up on the
That's fine,
computer?
that'll work, yeah. All righty, then we'll go to, let's see, we had approval of the minutes, then we'll go to special presentations, a motion to approve the Learning Difference Awareness Month proclamation, learning, study update by Megan Wilson, Assistant Director of the Wayne County Public Library, and she'll be here, okay? Number 4, the agenda is motion to approve the 2024 Breast Cancer Awareness Proclamation as presented by Vice Chairman George Wayne Aycock Jr. You got that? The, number 5, motion to approve the 2024 Industry Appreciation Month proclamation. And Julie Graham, the existing industry director, will be here for that.
Yes, sir.
Appointment committee, we got,
Got appointments.
yep, the recommendation to appoint Bilma Inges to the Wayne County Latino Council to be voted on October 15th by the Board of Commissioner meeting, or in the Board of Commissioner meeting. And then we've got a motion to appoint Ms. Betty Dahl to the Adult Care Home Community Advisory Committee. That's it, correct, Mr. Orr?
Correct.
Then we go to consent agenda and the budget amendments. Angie?
We'll start with number 70, and that is from Literacy Connections. This budget amendment is to appropriate funds for Literacy's Employee Assistance Program in the amount of $45, and this is fully and reimbursable by them.
Okay.
Number 83, this is for the Sheriff's Office. This is to record receipt of revenues for controlled substance tax from the North Carolina Department of Revenue in the amount of $1,441.71.
Any question?
Number 84, this is Services on Aging. This is to appropriate donated funds for housing and home improvement ramps for fiscal year '25 in the amount of $10,400.
These are like reusable ones, correct? Do we know?
I'm not sure either.
We don't know, okay. I would think they would be like aluminum type. All right, go ahead.
Number 85, this is for the Sheriff's Office. This is to transfer funds to the appropriate general ledger account in order to purchase a used vehicle using state-controlled substance funds in the amount of $29,000. Number 89, this is Department of Social Services. This is to transfer funds to the overtime line item to cover cost of administrative, clerical, or economic services staff working overtime. Reimbursement for these funds will be on the monthly state report at 50 to 75% reimbursable rate. Number 91, this is for the health, excuse me, this is for the Health Department. This budget amendment is to allocate funds for the fiscal year '25 agreement addendum number 117, Public Health Infrastructure, Local Workforce Development. These funds will be used for retaining public health staff, expanding recruitment efforts, supporting and sustaining public health staff, and training for new and existing staff in the amount of $131,367.
Any questions? All right.
Number 92, this is also for the Health Department. This is to realign the professional services budget to meet the requirements of the United Way of Wayne County contract amount in the amount of $9,650. Budget amendment number 94. This is to, from Finance for JCPC. This is to reappropriate FY '24 unexpended JCPC funds for payment back to the North Carolina Department of Public Safety in the amount of $106.95.
They tried to use it all, didn't they? So there was only $106 left over.
For the administrative piece of JCPC, yes, sir. The last budget amendment is number 101. This is for ARP funding. This budget amendment is to appropriate ARP funding for the Office of Emergency Services decon trailer in the amount of $235,138.
All right.
Also attached behind this ARP budget amendment is an update to our grant project ordinance. This grant project ordinance outlines every project that you have already approved via a budget amendment. This is a requirement for ARP funds to have this documented. The only two items that you will not see on this grant project ordinance is for the Office of Emergency Services additional funds for their radios, as well as the Sheriff's Mobile Command Center. Those were already approved on a prior grant project ordinance.
Chairman, if I could. And what is going to be the remaining balance of funds that are not allocated?
Currently, the amount that has not been approved by you is $211,000. Excuse me, that's, let's see, $243,000. We have other projects that we have our eyes on. The Jetport trailer at the mobile home unit that will be utilized for our helicopter for the pediatric unit. We also are looking to purchase an additional half allocation of sheriff radios. We're also looking to purchase an additional ambulance. This will utilize the remaining funds as well as tap into some of the interest that has been earned by ARP. This gives us a cushion in the event that some of these other projects that have been allocated, if some of those funds drop back in, we still will not have to return any of the funds back.
Smart accounting.
And those have to be allocated by the end of this year?
They do have to be allocated or in a purchase order, in an encumbrance by December 31st of '24 and spent by December 31st of 2026.
Okay, thank you. All right, have we got an update on our ambulances
No, sir.
delivery date?
The first batch, we're being told, is the summer of '25, the first batch, and another batch should be in by the end of next year.
Where they're being built?
Florida?
Florida, somewhere in Florida.
In Florida?
Yes,
They're not-
sir.
They're not coming out of that western?
All right, thank you, ma'am. We go on to number 9 on the agenda of the 2025 holiday schedule.
See, holiday schedule proposed for next year.
Sarah will be here to explain it, but she's gonna be late.
All right. There she is. Warner.
Talk about the holiday schedule.
Yeah.
So just as normal, it's the yearly holiday schedule. It was utilized the exact same one that the state uses. And I did make a note at the bottom that we have the personal observance day as well. There's nothing any different from the state schedule.
Anybody got any questions? Thank you, ma'am. Number 10, late elderly disabled exclusion applications have been vetted.
They've all been vetted by the tax office and approved.
All right, number 11, the late disabled veteran exclusion applications.
Same thing.
All right, number 12, motion to approve canceling the November 5th, 2024 Board of Commissioners meeting. And this is,
Election day.
yep,
I got a question for you.
all right,
Why do we have to cancel just because it's election day?
agreed.
That's a good question.
It's been typical of this board to cancel on election day.
But being typical though doesn't make it necessary.
Not, just been since time immemorial.
Out of due respect, I'll be working very hard on election day, so I would like to be here, but
That's a yeah, it was just a question. Just
It
a
was a very
question.
good question, though.
So we good canceling? Okay. All right, on number 13, approval to award the submitted bid to vendor NWN Carousel for the purchase of Cisco switches for the new detention center DHHS buildings with appropriate budget amendment. And is it got to be approved by our attorney too, or is it already?
Switches for the buildings. We got fiber coming in, and then we're gonna connect all the drops in the building with these switches, so
Okay, all right. Any questions?
Gotta do it.
gotta do it.
That'll work.
Need switches.
And the price differences between the lowest responsible bidder and the top were considerable, so we picked a good company.
Got it. Thank you, sir. All right, number 14, which was the addition, is,
Establish a public hearing on October the 15th, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. The purpose of the public hearing is to receive public comments regarding the sale and lease of 210 Dixie Trail, Goldsboro, North Carolina, PIN number 25986683317 to Bees Blanching LLC pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 158-7.1.
all right? Yeah, you can come up if you want to talk about it. Anybody got any questions?
What are they gonna be blanching?
Peanuts.
Peanuts?
Well, nuts, I reckon, should not be more than just peanuts, but nuts. in general.
Peanuts.
Any questions? All right. On to new business, which will be the new number 15, presentation of the 2025 reappraisal of real property in Wayne County, schedule of values by Tax Administrator Alan Lumpkin. And motion to approve a public hearing on October 15th, 2024 at 9:15. Board of Commissioners meeting room on the fourth floor of the Wayne County Courthouse, 224 East Walnut Street. Goldsboro, North Carolina, to receive public comments on said proposed schedule, standards, and rules. And I guess Alan will be here at 9-ish.
Yes, sir.
All right, any questions? They don't have questions at 9 already. Then we go to public comments, or is the sheet out there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, county manager report, board of commissioners, committee reports. We got closed session.
yes, sir.
All right, have a, entertain a motion to go in closed session.
So moved.
All right, all in favor, raise your right hand. All right, we're in closed.
Council.
All right. we'll recess our meeting till 9 o'clock. October 1st, 2024 meeting to order. I'll have Commissioner Daugherty has the invocation.
Let's bow our heads. Father God, we thank you for your many blessings today and for bringing us together. Help us keep your word in mind as we discuss and make decisions for the citizens of our county. We ask for your wisdom. We ask you to be with those families affected by last week's terrible, horrific storm. Be with those who are responding to provide aid and assistance. May we seek your will and pursue your glory through all we say and do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Commissioner Barber has a pledge.
Please stand. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Entertain a motion for the adjusted agenda.
So move.
All in favor, please cast your vote.
Yeah, we got one addition there.
Okay.
I know you said adjusted, but let
Okay.
me
What's the
just
adjustment?
state it. We'd like to walk on add under consent, a public hearing, establish a public hearing on October the 15th, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. The purpose of that public hearing is to receive public comments regarding the sale and lease of 210 Dixie Trail, Goldsboro, North Carolina, PIN number 2598668317, to B's Blanching LLC pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 158-7.1. That will be added under consent.
All right, have a motion on the floor to approve the adjusted agenda. Please vote or raise your right hand.
Coming up.
Not working again.
No, you hit that. No.
First.
All opposed, no. All right, thank you. Entertain a motion to approve the September 17th minutes.
So approved.
Have a motion on the floor. Please cast your vote.
No, ma'am.
Yes. All right, thank you. Now we're going to special presentations. A motion to approve the Learning Difference Awareness Month proclamation and Learning Studio update by Megan Wilson, Assistant Director of the Wayne County Public Library.
Good morning. So I'm Megan, as you all know, and this is my son Elijah.
Hi, I am Eli or Elijah. I have dyslexia.
So this program is very, very important to us. One thing I want to mention before I read the proclamation is that we stood here before you about a year ago to talk about the launch of this Learning Studio project. And since then, we have held 23 programs with over 500 attendees. We have tutored 48 first through eighth graders, and we are still tutoring them. We have developed a resource collection with over 1,500 circulations in the past year. The school system has reported an increased parent engagement, and we have been asked to replicate this project throughout the state and in some cases throughout the country. We do have a very short video to show you, and then I'll read the proclamation. I think it stops in the next slide.
It is very rewarding to see that you're able to make a difference with the child. It's very intentional. It's super supportive. The amount of resources alone really puts it a step above any other tutoring service that I've seen. The level of support that this tutoring service provides is just beyond. The amount of time and energy that they've poured in from the start of this project is amazing and it's inspiring. And it's really opened my eyes. I mean, these students, we have to pour everything we have into these students, and especially with them, you know, having these barriers in front of them. What can we do to let them know that we are behind you? We are here to support you. Everybody has their barriers.
I'm the grandmother of Sawyer Lane. He is 10 years old. He's on the spectrum and he has ADHD. So the program has been wonderful for him. It's been great. The tutoring session this summer has been wonderful because it's continued his learning over the summer. His reading comprehension has improved. It's been a lot better. His socialization skills have improved. It's a free thing, and that's very important. And this provides service for everybody. It was so nice and fun. The people that helped with the tutoring, they were wonderful, they were compassionate, and it was a great experience this summer.
Well, there we had a lot of people who really needed the help, and everybody who brought them just kept being, thank you, are y'all gonna do this again?
The site coordinators were absolutely wonderful. Anything, I mean, absolutely anything that we needed, they made sure we had. I mean, there was so many educational games, educational books. So it was a team effort. I mean, absolutely all the way around, even with the other tutors there, it absolutely was a team effort. It was wonderful, a wonderful experience. It's important because parents are looking for this, and parents need this, and parents want this, and it lets parents know that there is someone in the community that will work with their children, because we know they need it just as much as anybody else. And so that's what I really enjoyed about the Learning Studio, that, you know, we're working with all kids.
It is really good to have these resources. 2 of our family members are nonverbal autistic kids, so we want to learn about them and then, you know, see how we can communicate with them better. Some of the books is talking about some special need kids, and that really helps Andrew to deal with other kids. Like, okay, when you deal with some kids that are not the same as him, so what can he do? You know, that kind of thing. Like, you know, both me and him actually can learn, and how you can like make a friendship with them.
So for my family, because my son has ADHD, he's also been able to learn about it a lot through the resources at the Learning Studio.
Yeah, it gives me more accessibility to learning and just more options than I do it like home or anywhere else.
So we were able to accomplish all that through the support of the school system. They were our partner, but through grant funds and private funds. It was a very, very minimal cost for the county. And we have secured a lot more private funds going forward to be able to take a lot of this through the school year. So I'm going to go ahead and read the proclamation, if that's okay with you.
Well,
Okay. Whereas learning differences include dyslexia, ADHD, and more, which affect approximately 1 in 5 people, regardless of race, gender, age, or socioeconomic status. And whereas neurological in origin, learning differences affect the way the brain processes information and is characterized by difficulties such as reading, writing, focus, sensory needs, and spelling, despite normal intelligence. And whereas those with learning differences benefit greatly from specialized assistance from highly trained teachers, multisensory learning programs, and individualized instruction. And whereas early identification, alternative instruction, and extra support from friends, family, teachers, and libraries can contribute to the success of neurodivergent students enjoy in the classroom and later in employment. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Wayne County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim October 2024 as Learning Differences Awareness Month in Wayne County and commend its observance to all citizens. Adopted this the first day of October 2024.
thank you, ma'am. I entertain a motion to approve the Learning Difference Awareness Proclamation.
So approved.
Have a motion on the floor. Please cast your vote.
I asked, how many have you had tutored, during the summer? How many students?
48 at a time is our capacity. We have it either 2-to-1 ratio or 4-to-1 ratio, depending on how many students and how many tutors we have at a time. But all of our tutors are certified teachers.
Have you seen a really big increase in what by being tutored and everything?
Yes, ma'am. So for at least most of our kids, we've seen up to 1 year of growth just over the summer. A lot of that was really building confidence and being able to really use that multisensory style of learning in a smaller, ratio of students to teachers.
That's fantastic, thank you.
Great
Thank you.
job.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Elijah.
All right, moving on, number 4, motion to approve the 2024 Breast Cancer Awareness Proclamation, and Vice Chairman George Wayne Aycock will read.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 2024 Breast Cancer Awareness Proclamation. Whereas breast cancer touches every corner of the United States and hundreds of thousands of Americans will be diagnosed with breast cancer and tens of thousands will die from it. And whereas about 1 in 8 women born today in the United States will get breast cancer at some point in their lifetime, and approximately 2,700 men are diagnosed with breast cancer each year. And whereas we show our support for every individual and every family struggling with breast cancer, and we pause to remember those we have lost. And whereas Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October is a chance to raise awareness about the importance of early detection of breast cancer by getting a mammogram and encouraging our community organizations, churches, families, and individuals to get involved. And whereas we salute the women and men who dedicate themselves to prevention, detection, and treatment as we observe Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Now therefore be it resolved that the Wayne County Board of Commissioners hereby proclaim October 2024 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month in Wayne County, and encourage all citizens to join the activities that will increase awareness that we can do to prevent breast cancer. Adopted this day, 1st of October 2024.
Thank you, sir. Entertain a motion to approve the 2024 Breast Cancer Awareness Month proclamation.
So moved.
All right, all in favor, please cast your vote. All right, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, can I make a brief statement?
Yes, sir.
As many of y'all know, some may not, I was one of the fortunate men to have breast cancer 12 years ago. Thank God and some good doctors. It stayed gone for 12 years, but it has come back in another part of my body now. But the breast cancer is actually what triggered it. And, you know, the number of men that has breast cancer is just minimal to what the women of all over the world that has breast cancer. And it's just been amazing, the doctors and the nurses, the people that has helped me get through this. But the main thing is God got me through it, and the prayers from people that I don't even know. But again, it's when you're told you have cancer is one thing, but I'd never guessed that I'd have had breast cancer. In fact, in our family, I don't remember any breast cancer, but it is what it is, and I just want to thank all of the people everywhere in the county that has supported me in it. I mean, it's so humbling for people to come up to you that you don't even know, but they know you and say, Mr. Aycock, we're praying for you. It's just so, it brings chill bumps to me every time, because, I mean, people that I don't even know, and it's very humbling, and I just want to thank everyone for what they're doing, the doctors and research for, because, hopefully someday they can come up with a cure for it. But just thank you all for letting me make the comments.
Thanks, sir. Any others? I appreciate it. Moving on, number 5, motion to approve the 2024 Industry Appreciation Month proclamation by Julie Ground, Director, East Existing Industry, and she's accompanied by Mr. Craig Vogt. progress report. I reckon.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman
Good
and
morning.
Commissioners. Wayne County is incredibly fortunate to have a robust industry base that truly drives our community. We have around 75 manufacturers, wholesalers, distributors, and machine shops employing over 8,000 dedicated individuals. This significant number of jobs supported many families and highlight the resilience and commitment to our workforce. These industries span various sectors, including automotive, aviation, plastics, food production, and advanced manufacturing. Each sector plays a crucial role in our local economy and adds to the unique character of our community. In addition to the economic impact, these companies are among the top taxpayers here in Wayne County, funding essential services and infrastructure that benefit us all. Their contributions extend beyond finances. They actively engage with our community by supporting local charities, festivals, and educational programs. This dedication to giving back demonstrates their deep care for our community and its future. These companies also exemplify leadership and mentorship. They not only create job opportunities, but also foster an environment where future leaders can grow and thrive. By nurturing talent, encouraging professional development, they help shape the next generation of innovators and change makers right here in Wayne County. As we celebrate these industries this month, let's acknowledge their vital role in our community's success. Their contribution, whether through jobs, community involvement, or leadership, make Wayne County a better place to live and work. Thank you for joining us in our and celebrating our industries here in Wayne County.
2024 Industry Appreciation Month proclamation. Whereas the Wayne County Board of Commissioners supports the endeavors of industry in Wayne County, and whereas the Wayne County Development Alliance Incorporated hosts an industry celebration each year to thank the more than 75 manufacturers, distributors, wholesalers, machine shops, and other businesses in the county, and whereas events planned to celebrate these industries include a golf tournament at Walnut Creek Country Club, regional forklift rodeo at Wayne Community College, and an award ceremony to name Industry of the Year. Whereas representatives from local businesses and industries and guests who will include officials from economic development allies, local and state elected officials, and community leaders will attend these events. And whereas October is recognized as Manufacturing Month, this is an annual tradition giving the community a chance to pause and thank local industries for all they do for Wayne County. Now therefore be it resolved that the Wayne County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim the month of October 2024 as Industry Appreciation Month in Wayne County, adopted this first day, October 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval. Yes, sir. I have a motion on the floor to approve the 2024 Industry Appreciation Month. Please cast your vote. All right, thank you. Any questions, comments?
Thank you for all you do, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to the appointment committee, Mr. Hardison.
Yes, sir, we have two. First is to appoint Betty Dawes to the Adult Care Home Community Advisory Committee.
All right, have a
Come to you
motion.
in front of a motion.
Have a motion on the floor. Please cast your vote. All right,
Mine didn't pop up, but that is a yes vote. Okay, so next is Bella Inges, be appointed to the Latino Council. That comes to you in the form of a motion.
that's to be voted on October 15th,
No, we
2024.
decided to do it today. Is that correct, Carol?
My apologies, I was answering another one.
Yes, Bella, we're gonna appoint her today, right?
Today on, Iniguez is going to be voting, you're making the recommendation today, voting on the 15th.
Okay, okay.
The other one was for
Okay.
today.
Okay.
All right,
Sorry, my mistake.
all right, thank you. Any
Okay,
other?
well, that's it.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, entertain a motion on the adjusted consent agenda.
So moved.
Who made the motion? Who made the motion, Barbara?
I did.
Thank you.
Commissioner Hardison, did yours pop up?
I did just now.
All right, thank you. All right, going on to new business, presentation of the 2025 reappraisal of real property in Wayne County schedule of values by Tax Administrator Alan Lumpkin. Mr. Lumpkin.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Commissioners. How are y'all?
Good, I hope you are.
Good. First of all, I'd like to introduce Mr. TJ Smothers. He is my assistant administrator in the tax department, and he's our revi coordinator. So I brought him to keep me on task and to make sure I don't randomly go off on a tangent or anything like that, and hold up some little cues if I forget what I'm supposed to say.
So is he supposed to take all the darts instead of
Yes,
you now?
yes.
Is that what it is? Oh, okay.
If your value's too high, see him. As you know, we've been talking about this reappraisal for several months now, almost probably a year, a little over a year. This is our 2025 reevaluation of reappraisal. This happens once every 8 years normally. This time, as you know, we got triggered, which means our sales ratio dropped below a certain percentage, which is 85%. So it's been a 6-year cycle this time because of that. The state put that in place several years ago to keep values from getting way out of whack. It sort of gets us back in line to where we need to be. So we had to move ours up 2 years, so we're going to affect 2025. It's the same process that we've been through in 2019, 2011, 2003. It's the same process all the time. We've been working on this for a year and a half now, trying to get everything ready, and this is just part of the process, what we're doing today. I'm presenting this schedule of values to you today, and we'll set up a public hearing for the next meeting, October 15th. I just want to take a few minutes to tell you about this magic book here, what it is and what it isn't. What it isn't, you cannot go to this magic book and turn to a page that has your name on it and find your value. This is not what this is. This is not going to tell you what your 2025 tax value is going to be. That will come later in the process. We'll send notices out probably next February. You'll be notified of your actual tax value, and then you have a time to appeal that value if you feel that's an unfair value, you don't agree with it. But right now, what this does, this is an instructional manual. This has details on how we appraise properties in the tax department. It has base rates for all kinds of structures you see in the county, commercial, residential, industrial. It has base rates for outbuilding structures such as storage buildings, garages, swimming pools, fences, paving, anything like that. That's what this has. It has base rates for all of that stuff in it based on current cost. That's what this book has in it. Also, what this book does, all this stuff is in our computer system. All this is loaded to our computer system, so it makes it easy on our part. We don't have to look at this book every time we appraise a property. We key in the details of a property into our computer system, and it values based on this book, based on the values in this book. What's important about this book is, as we know, sometimes the computer system don't work. Lord forbid if we were to lose our computer system and those of us in the office currently are not here anymore, what do? Well, other appraisers can come into this office, take this manual, and they can actually go out and appraise properties with this manual. They can do it manually. So that's the importance of this book, is to keep equity. And when I say equity, I've explained this before, but I want to go over it one more time. We had our reappraisal in 2019. We did the same thing we're doing here. We established market value as of January 1st, 2019 on all the properties in Wayne County. So let's say, for instance, we had a new subdivision in 2019. They built a house and it was there January 1st, 2019. We valued that property at market value based on our schedule at that time. We put a value on that property, market value. 2 years from then, say in 2021, 2022, a lot of times in these subdivisions, they will build the same properties. They have 4 or 5 plans that they just switch them over here and there. 2 years from that 2019 date, they built that same house in 2021 or 2022. Same identical house. For tax purposes, we have to value that house the same as we did that one in 2019, even though it's 2 years newer. That's because of equity. We can't go up and, if this person pays $40,000 more than this person did, we can't charge them $40,000 more for tax purposes at that time. We have to keep it the same, equitable throughout the reval cycle. When we do our next reval, which is 2025, everything comes to market at the same time to keep it fair. Everybody's paying the same amount at the same time. It's not like a roller coaster like the market is right now. We have to keep it equitable and fair. So that's the importance of this manual. Once we get this book done and adopted, that's gonna be our Bible for the next 5, 6 years until our next reappraisal. That's what we have to go by. So that sort of helps bring together what this manual does. Again, it's not a magic book that you can find your value in. It's just an instructional architecture of what we're doing, how we can do it, and if, Lord forbid, the computers go out, we can still do our job based on this book right here. This book will be placed, a copy in the manager's office, in Kayla's office probably. I'll have a book in my office, and it is open for inspection. If anybody wants to look at it, y'all are welcome to look at it, go through it, ask questions if you want to ask us questions. It's open for the public to review. We can't let it go out yet because it's not been adopted yet, but it is open for review. Anybody wants to look at it is welcome to do that, and there's a copy there, a copy in our office, so welcome to come in and take a look at it. Little more on the process. Once we get this, we'll present it today. We're setting our public hearing for the 15th, which y'all will do as in a motion. And then we'll have our public hearing, hear comments, and then hopefully we'll adopt this. We were going to do it on the 5th, but since that meeting was canceled, we'll do it on the November 19th meeting. It'll be adopted. And then we're still working our revaluation. We're hoping to get everything completed in the next 3 or 4 months. We're hoping notices can go out in February, next February. Once the notices go out, like I mentioned, people have a chance to appeal, we get all that cleaned up, and then hopefully we'll have some good numbers for budgeting come maybe March or April sometime maybe. I know Angie will be happy with that. So that's sort of what we're doing today. Any questions I can answer?
Anybody any questions for Alan?
I know I spilled a lot out you, I know. It's the nature of the beast.
While you're here, let me ask this, and that is, some counties do a reval every 4 years.
Correct.
Is that by statute or?
No, sir. The statute says you have to do it at least once every 8 years. That's what the statute says.
Okay.
Now, you as a board can adopt to do that sooner, and a lot of boards have done that. Some have gone to a 6-year and some have gone to a 4-year. I haven't heard of anybody doing one more than a 4-year cycle, less than a 4-year cycle, I should say. But that is up to the board. That's the one thing I want, that once we get this completed, probably next spring sometime or going up to the next budget year, that's something I want to talk to the board about, and let's do the pros and cons, the good and the bad and the ugly, because this is not a cheap thing to do a reappraisal. So you have to sort of balance the thing, and your big growth counties such as Wake County, Mecklenburg, they see big swings. Your beach property, your mountain property, you see big swings, big market adjustments, and it amplifies over time. So they sort of tighten theirs up a little more. Here in Wayne County, we don't see the growth that they see, so ours is more of a gradual climb or decrease when we have a decrease. So my opinion right now, I would suggest probably maybe keep our 6-year cycle for right now and see how it goes, and then eventually we want to go to a 4. I will caution though, when you go to a 4, you're talking about putting on a whole nother staff, reappraisal staff, because you're going to need somebody, because from the time we start to the time we get through all the appeals and everything, it's probably a good 2.5 year cycle. So it's going to be a continual thing. When you go to a 4-year, these counties have full-time staff, that's all they do is reappraisals.
So where does the 85 to 115, the 85% and 115% come into play?
That was that state statute,
Right.
statute they changed several years back to trigger a reappraisal.
Right, okay.
Our sales ratio, what we do every year, the state sends us a random sampling. We go and pull those sales. We compare the selling price to our tax value. So as we do that, we have probably 400 random samples in that test. And if that percentage comes out less than 85% or above 115%, that's what triggers the reappraisal that you have to do within the next 3 years.
Right.
And that was done to, like I said, to keep that disparity from getting so far out of whack. And in this market we've seen, it has done that in some cases.
Oh, yeah.
And
I've tried
I think we had like 26 or 27 counties got triggered, just like we did.
Yeah, I've tried to explain that to some, but, okay.
Yeah, that's
better coming from you than me.
I understand.
And Mr. Chairman, I have one other question. That is, you mentioned that in February, you're going to be sending out notices?
Yes, sir. Value change notices.
Isn't it normal that in January, we send out a listing forms?
Yes, sir. January is our listing period. The month of January is our annual listing period every year. That's the every year thing. We send out listing forms to personal property owners, such as if you own a boat, mobile home, stuff like that. You have to, that's required by law to list it every January.
So it's not real property, it's personal property
Correct.
in January?
Correct.
Okay,
That's correct.
okay.
And I shouldn't say not just personal property. Any real property changes that you've done in the previous year, you are required to list that. But
Okay.
in most cases, we get permits, but you are required to list changes. If you tear something down or build something new, you are supposed to tell us during the month of January as well. But we just send listing forms out to personal property owners.
Well, does that notice that is sent out for listing, does that list the real property that is currently shown?
No, sir.
It does not?
It's just, we just send personal property out.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What's the rule on, far as we talking about listing, listing property? If it's in Wayne County on X day or a certain amount of time, how does that work?
It's January 1st is our snapshot day. If it's there January 1st, it's listed in this county. If you have it January 1st, that's what you list here in Wayne County.
Okay, that goes for whatever. I mean,
Just like, for instance, if I owned a mobile home and it was sitting here, I put it here in December of this year, it's here January 1st. If I turn around and move it in March to another county, it's taxable in Wayne County for that year, the full year. There's no proration on that on those things. Like, it doesn't work like vehicles where if you turn a tag in, you can prorate that on vehicles. That's a whole different animal. For personal property, it's whatever's there January 1st. Same thing with real property. If you build a house, if it's 50% complete January 1st, we'll tax you at 50% complete. If it's not there January 1st, you won't get taxed. If you start the house on January 2nd, then you won't get a tax bill for that house that year until the next year.
Got it.
You will get the land, but not the house. Good question. Thank you, sir.
Yep. All right, any other questions? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve a public hearing on October the 15th, 2024 at 9:15. The Board of Commissioners meeting room on the fourth floor of the Wayne County Courthouse located at 224 East Walnut Street, Goldsboro, North Carolina, to receive public comments on said proposed schedule, standards, and rules. You can- That was unison.
Yeah, in harmony.
All in favor, please cast your vote, and likewise other.
Didn't come up.
Raise your right hand if you didn't come up. All right. Everybody vote.
Yes, it passed.
Do what?
It passed.
Oh, so you get to keep your job another year right now.
Thank you, sir. I
You're
appreciate
so very welcome. Appreciate what you do.
Just long as I don't have to get a bigger mailbox.
All right, do we have anybody sign up for public comment?
Yes, sir, we did. We had two individuals, Julie Whitfield and Clara Rackley, with
Alright.
Whitfield being first.
Ms. Whitfield?
Good morning.
Morning.
So I just wanted to first start out by saying thank you for our recent monies that were budgeted out a year earlier than what we expected to supply my staff and with the desk cubicles in the clerk's office. It did not only change the look of the office, but it has also changed the morale, the efficiency of the office. Being organized helps the staff, but at the same time, there's quality of our staff that spends with the quality of time that our staff spends with the citizens and the counties that come into that they help. I have said and I have heard that nobody comes into the clerk's office happy unless they're paying their last child support or their last probation. But I really hope that this will change that. I hope that the look and the environment that is now presented to them when they visit the clerk's office will make a difference. The new desks have given a modern look and a professionalism that is inviting, which gives the citizens proof of our confidence in performing our duties, in serving and helping them. We realize that the monies that are desperately needed throughout the county, elsewhere, and I do not want you to take this gesture lightly, I honestly do feel that it has made a difference in our staff. We have everything just so much more organized. It is clean. It's a clean workplace for the citizens of Wayne County to come in and to benefit from it. Workflow and performance will increase, I'm sure it has already, and as well as the quality of our services. My staff is very important to me, as well as the citizens of Wayne County. And you will never know how much gratitude when I see them smiling, because they were not happy with me to start with about cubicles. But they didn't realize exactly what they were going to be, and now they are very excited. And I have a couple of staff members here, a couple of my assistants that can vouch for that. But I just wanted to say just thank you so much. I've heard such positive feedback, and I do sincerely thank you for all that you've done. As early as yesterday, we needed a safe, went to a class this past week, and they said, oh, you need this and you need that. And I'm like, we don't have room for that, but we did need a small safe. And I was able to contact the county yesterday, get that safe. It was in the back of my car. One of my staff, now that I have a guy there, went and moved it inside. So we do appreciate everything that you guys do. We truly do. And Chip, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if anybody hasn't been upstairs to see what this office looks like and how professional it looks, you need to go see it, because I see a bunch of smiles up there now in that office.
And I was going to mention that, I apologize. Yes, we would love for you guys to come. The auditors are going to be here tomorrow, but they're not here today. So if you have a chance after your meeting, if you step down, we would love to see you. Look, and I noticed that Kendall wasn't able to be here, but he even looked at me and he said, wow, this is nice. He said, I thought you were going to bring all that, whatever that cheap board is. He said, but this looks really good.
Yeah,
so
it
for
does.
Kendall to say that really made me smile. So, but thank you again. And yes, please do come visit.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next on the list.
Next would be Clara Rackley.
Good morning.
Good morning,
I'm
Ms.
very
Martin.
nervous, so I don't usually speak in front of grown-ups like this. I didn't know it was going to be this professional. I've come here today to speak to you about a permit I purchased on September the 11th for $350. That's a lot of money to me. I live on Social Security, and not Social Security disability, it's what I earned. I'm getting my house ready to sell so I can move closer to my girls and help them with the grandbabies. And my health is not as good as it used to be either. My real estate agent called me and said that I lived in a 2-bedroom mobile home. And I said, what? And I said, I have a 3-bedroom house with a great room upstairs and 2 walk-in attics and 2.5 baths. She said, no, you live in a 2-bedroom mobile home. That's how it's listed. And I said, oh, wow. I said, well, what do I need to do? And she said, I'm going to send somebody out to check your septic tank. So she did, and they came out. It's a 900-gallon tank, but it only has 2 lines. I said, well, I know there was a mobile home here before the house was here. The house was built, the mobile home was in 1986, the house was built in 1993. There was an inspector that came out. I think it's registered as there was an inspector that came out, but left it knowing that it was a 3-bedroom 3-bedroom house. So I went to the Jeffers building. She said I had to get a permit. I called Chris Parks. He said, you got to get a permit before I can put the line in to add to your already existing septic tank that I've never had any trouble with. So I went to the Jeffers building. That's when I paid the $350. She said, and oh, by the way, you can't put the septic tank in until we check your soil. And I said, oh, okay. And I went, okay, well, when are y'all going to do that? She said, well, it might be Thursday or Friday. And this was the 12th. The guy came out on the 12th. I wasn't home. They didn't call me and let me know they were coming. He just came. His name is Bo. He came out, spent 20 minutes on my property of there's an acre of land that the house sits on. And he said, I don't know, your soil is like 8 inches of good soil, but we'd like for it to be 12 inches. I said, what? He said, let me talk to my supervisor. His name is Kevin. So nobody called me back. The rest of the week, I didn't hear from anybody. So Tuesday, I called back up to the Jeffers building, to the office. I don't know what the name of it is. I was so frustrated. And he said, we'll come out tomorrow and look again. So he brought Kevin out. And they probably spent 30 minutes there maybe. And I think he dug 1 hole. He said, I'm just telling you, your property is not good. You're not going to be able to put another line in. So I called, I think I called Mr. Gurley, and he said, ask for a second opinion. So I called Kevin, asked for a second opinion. They sent the state, Scott Green out, who works for the state. He dug one deep hole in the front yard and one deep hole in the side yard where the septic tank is. And he gave me a report and said my soil was too wet. And I said, well, of course it's wet. We've had a hurricane, we've had rain. I mean, anybody would know that. So he gave me a report, and I have the report. And he said, you're not going to be able to put another line in. I said, there's already 2 lines with the septic tank. It works fine. It's been working for 20 years. That's how long I've lived there. And he said, well, I'm not going to be able to put another line in for you. So I'm saying, okay, well, can I have my money back? And they said, no. I said, you mean to tell you I've given you $350, you're not going to let me put a line in, and you get to keep my $350? Come on now, y'all, that's not right. I said, I don't make a big salary. I live on Social Security. I've worked all my life, but I do not think that is right. So I am suggesting for the next people that are my age coming in and having to do something like this, let them check the soil before they charge them for a permit. That's just wrong. That's wrong, y'all. I should be able to get a line put in anyway. That was my 2 things, putting a line in, $350 to get permission to put a line in my property that I pay $4,000 a year in taxes and $1,500 in federal and state on Social Security and a very small amount of retirement. I mean, when is it going to stop? This is like socialism at its best. And if you don't agree with me, think about it. You know, I mean, think about it. I mean, would you like it if your mom or your grandma, did this happen to her?
Ms. Ratcliffe.
I kept thinking, why didn't I just get somebody to illegally put the line in? You know, then I could go and check and go, I don't know what happened. But the inspector failed
Ms. Ratcliffe.
in 1993.
I give you, you're supposed to have 4 minutes, and you've had 5.
Okay.
I apologize.
All right.
Ma'am, I just want to say, first off, I'm very sorry about your experience with our department, and those are some things that, you know, I think we can suggest that you mention. Check the soil first before you
Charge somebody.
Yeah, I apologize for that.
But have you looked into what happened in '93? You said when the house was built. Is there?
I've got all the stuff on that.
So what's
The inspector just let it go. I
It's
mean, you
noted.
can clearly see it's a 3-bedroom house.
Because I mean, if
It's noted on the permit that that the owner at the time, or the lady that actually looked after it was fine with it being a 2-bedroom, and it's noted on the paperwork. I'll show you the paperwork when we get to it.
She was fine with it being
to stay in a 2-bedroom. They didn't want to enlarge the septic system at that time.
And when you bought the house,
That
wasn't.
It was never, I never knew anything about the septic tank being.
This is a prior, we'll talk about it.
That's a lot.
Yep.
We'll have definitely look into it.
Thank you.
Thank you, yes, ma'am.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, moving on to county manager report.
Yeah, I just have one comment. I'd just like to, prayers for the western part of the state, the counties and the cities out there suffering right now, but also I'd like to wish, safety to our personnel and our first responders that are out there serving currently, and any of the ones that potentially could be going out there, and just keep them safe and keep them out of harm's way, and keep them in your prayers. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Williams?
My condolences to the Reed family. They just lost a family member, and my prayers are with the family. Also, my prayers are with the families from last recent storms. And happy birthday to our county attorney, Andrew Neal. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. And that's all I have.
You better stick to your day job.
I better.
Commissioner Daugherty?
I too wish you a happy birthday, but I'm not going to sing. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
No, Commissioner Aycock, Wayne Aycock.
Yes, sir. As has already been mentioned, just keep our thoughts and prayers with the people in the western part of North Carolina and also South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. I mean, North Carolina was affected probably the most, but the other states had damage too. And I just want to thank all of the people. We've got a collection point at the Hunter Fire Department. It's actually going through the Baptist Men's Ministry. We started collecting stuff for 3 hours Sunday night, filled up a trailer and a half, and it was amazing the amount of people that came in and the products that they brought in. And then last night we went from 6 to 7 o'clock. We filled up another trailer and a half last night, and we got another collection tonight from 6 to 7, and we soon gonna have all the trailers in the camp and in the Hunter community full, because I mean the turnout. I mean, it's amazing how people care for others. I mean, we figured we'd get some stuff, but it was, and last night when we were collecting, it was pouring down rain about as hard as I've ever seen it, but the people did not hesitate to come. And some of our ladies that are associated with the fire department has put all this together, and it's in smaller enclosed trailers now, but it's gonna be transferred Thursday to a tractor and trailer. And I'm gonna say that we're gonna have just about enough to fill a tractor and trailer. I mean, and it's all, you know, it's not, we got a lot of water, but the other essentials that has been asked for. I mean, it has been amazing the way the community has stepped up. It just, it gives you a good feeling to know that there's still good people out there. And in fact, you know, that, and I don't mean this to be bragging or critical, but I saw people bringing stuff to send up there that probably needed it themselves. I mean, it's so heartwarming to see the turnout that we've had. And I just wanted, you know, I don't know how many watches at the commissioners meeting, but I just want to thank everybody that has been involved in this. And, you know, we're gonna get the supplies to the western part of the state, and we weren't expecting to collect any cash, but there's several people that want to give money, and my understanding is that that's going to go to the first responders, fire department, EMS, and all in the western part of the state. But again, just thank everyone for the generosity that they have shown for the western part of the state. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Commissioner Aycock, could you tell everybody if somebody did want to donate where they can bring everything to?
Well, tonight, it'll be the last night that we're gonna be collecting, because they've got to transfer all this stuff to a tractor and trailer, but it'll be in the Hunter Fire Station, they'll be collecting tonight from 6 to 7. So keep on bringing it and we'll find trailers.
Thanks, sir. Commissioner Barbara Aycock.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Great job, Commissioner Aycock, for our community. And looking at the faces of these people, I just can't imagine what they're going through. It's just been unimaginable what the damage that has occurred. And our prayers, I mean, I hope they're answered, that, you know, some kind of solution can come to the problem. It's just devastating. I went to the Tree-In meeting this week, and I wanted to update everyone on that. For the month of July 2024, they had over 17,000 calls to come in for assistance to help, you know, with the change and everything. Also, Tree-In is going through another change. We're hoping that the one that we have representing for us will be able to continue, but there's, like I said, there's going to be some changes, and no one knows what that change will be right now. I also want to thank WCDA for the great job that they've done. Also, this past week for the investors meeting and dinner we had, which was a great dinner. And a lot of hard work there, and we had a good crowd. So thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Hardison?
Nothing, sir.
Commissioner Foster?
No comment.
All right, thank y'all. This Thursday, we have the groundbreaking for Alianza. That's a company that's moving into the Park East Industrial Park. You'll see if you travel up down I-42 with the bypass, you'll see the signage continue to go up. This past weekend, we had the opportunity to go to Langley Air Force Base and meet the new General Wilbach of the commander of ACC. A very good meeting, strong leadership, and he couldn't say enough about the response and the support that we give Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. Also, Fairwinds Aviation out at the Wayne Exec Airport, they have put together and I'm gonna let Joe come up and speak about this, but just to give you a little insight about what they're doing, Christina Sargent and Bob Engel, the two that own Fairwinds Aviation, have shut down their flight school this week, and they are flying supplies to the western part of the state that you can't get trucks into, along with a dozen other privately owned planes. They're spending their time and resources to assist. You know, if anybody knows what flooding is, Wayne County knows. You know, our issue is our water. We have time to about halfway prepare. Our water comes up, but the force of water coming down that mountain has, you know, destroyed towns that I don't think we'll ever see them back like they were. But Joe, if you will, kind of give everybody the hit, the inside of what's going on at the airport.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. It took us about a day to get everything together, but, you know, we had a lot of our residents reaching out to us and how they could help. I think that's one of the really strong things about our community is they're always willing to help. So we started conversations with the United Way yesterday, but also Brandon Gray out at the Jetport, Fairwinds Aviation. So they are working with a group called Operation Airdrop, which is getting supplies in to these areas where they can't get trucks in. You know, there's positive news. 40 I saw just reopened late yesterday. So, you know, it'll get there, but right now there's a lot of places they're only able to get in by helicopter. And so this group is working out of like Concord area right now. So we are flying planes out there as well through you know, Fairwinds Aviation, but also just local pilots. And so we have set up a donation drop point for the county. It's at the Jetport. All this information is on our website, waynegov.com. The press release just went out as well while this meeting was going on. So I'm going to thank the United Way. They have allowed us to partner up if people want to make monetary donations. The state is recommending all that go through the State Recovery Fund, which is managed by United Way. There's a link to that on our website as well. So if you want to give a monetary donation to help with recovery, that's available. But we know that a lot of people want to bring supplies, that, you know, there's that tangible aspect as well. And so if that's the case, you can bring them to the Jetport. It's open Monday through Friday. And it's, you know, 9 to 5. You can drop it off. There's volunteers out there to accept those donations. Everything has to be weighed before it goes on the plane. It's a process. It's really wild to witness. But they are getting supplies out there. They took a number of trips out western part of the state yesterday, and they're doing it just every day through the week. Right now is kind of the operational period. So through Friday, if people want to bring stuff, we're hoping by that point more roads will be open and they can get, you know, trucks and stuff in there. But right now they're doing it all by airplane and helicopters. So.
I spoke to them this morning. They have 14 flights scheduled as of this morning at about 7.
Yep. Really cool thing. We're, you know, it's just something that we can help out here. You know, we see the flooding a lot of times, but I tell you, this is something that I hope no one has to go through. It's just devastating out there. So anything that we can do here to help out, we're going to try to do that. And again, thanks to the United Way and all those volunteers that are helping out right now. But all that information's on waynegov.com.
It's amazing. The FBO was chock full. They had moved they had moved all the furniture out of the way, and they were organizing everything. Like you say, everything has to be weighed. One little story: guy come into Raleigh to buy an airplane. he was talking to his son that owns some property here in town. He told him what they were doing. He flew, a fairly large plane, from what I understand, he flew in, loaded up 1,100 pounds of supplies and flew it out, and he was headed back to California, so.
We got to meet him. He lives in California.
Yeah, lives in California.
But has a connection here to Wayne
Exactly,
County.
his son,
So-
so that's a, incredible use of resources that we have here in Wayne County, along with the generosity of a lot of good-hearted people, so. I asked Joe to go out yesterday and try to help, get it out. So it's on social media as well, correct?
It will be going up, yeah, we're working, and we started getting a lot of questions yesterday. I just want to say that, it takes a while, because I do want to just urge the public to make sure that you're vetting your organizations that they're
Absolutely.
using too. And that's one thing that we wanted to make sure that we were being methodical about this and not just picking some random organization. There's a lot of people trying to do good. The state's telling you to kind of slow down and make sure that you're doing it right. And so that, it took us a day to get it together, but we're happy to be able to help. But
Well, there's a lot of things, and we've experienced this in the past. I mean, there's a lot of, everybody wants to help, but then all of a sudden you get inundated with a lot of stuff at one time, and some things go to waste.
Yep.
And like I said, we've had some bad storms around here, and the sheriff's been involved with a lot of recovery type stuff as well, and, but anyway, thank you for what you've done. Thank you for going out there and doing some press on it, and we appreciate the good-hearted folks of Wayne County and surrounding areas that's helping.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And Joe, I mean, you mentioned being careful on who gets to, especially cash. And that's, excuse me, that's the reason we went through the Baptist Men's Ministry, because, they're kind of heading it up.
Absolutely.
And, you want to make sure you're with a reputable group. I mean, like Samaritans First and all of that, as long as you're going through with a group like that, you don't have to worry about what's going on.
Yeah, so many times we're seeing the stories right now, people just loading up their cars and going up there, but, I look out for both sides of it. We've got emergency responders up there that are still trying to do work, search and rescue, and a lot of times if you show up with your SUV full of stuff, you're just in the way, unfortunately.
Right.
So that's why the state, it's very methodical in how they bring in resources, and I know that for those people on the ground, it must seem like it's taking forever, but there is a method to the madness, so we just want to make sure that we're not causing any more problems for them, so, yeah.
That's the reason what we're collecting is going to Calypso Thursday and be transferred to tractor and trailer, so that'll cut down on the congestion, and, it's been well thought through, the process.
I want to thank you for doing what you do. We do have one fire department as of right now. There are 10 deputies and 5 EMS employees there or on the way from our county, and I'm
Plus
sure.
one that's going.
Huh?
Plus one more that's scheduled to go.
I got you. So we appreciate, they're willing to help as well, so. All right, we got any more closed session? All right.
No, sir.
All right, meeting adjourned. Thank y'all. Devin.
Yep.